my opponents, run through problems, unstoppable. I jump over obstacles, stop my grind, lifestyle, sunshine, so improbable, probable, mission impossible. I said 2 times, nigga, stop lying. What you just said and I'm just not buying. Flow so nice, but the kids not kind. Sweat sicker than a new flu that got called swine. Staring on one like a unicorn, strapped with a uniform. Every day's a work day, but don't wear a uniform. Gucci man, the double done, cap it like a Capricorn. Chopper mine, going on a money, make America a joker. I be robbing, and the realer is the Batman's gone. Try not to fuck my money up in rap, cause real like Pac-Man Jones. Don't print me, fingerprint me, but can we agree to disagree? I'm from Eastern on 6, where the boy don't bridge, but we don't want the blueprint 3. None of us me just like Max B, but you can't fuck me like Rest B. Like Ali, I'ma float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, cause it's big Gucci.
And we're back, Overtime Live, Sports Bet Radio, coming at you live from the Gulf Coast, brought to you by TeamSpacePoker.com. We're good to be back with you guys, coming off of a big weekend of NFL, wrapping up the college football season, and we are getting ready for the NBA. So, Zig's here today. We got a special guest host. He's one of our college football experts. Good to have you with us.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Oh, man, how you been doing on bets? You putting in any parlays lately?
No, I haven't been betting at all.
Oh, really? You watching anything?
I'm watching football, basketball.
It's that time. It's that time.
Yeah.
NBA season should be ready to kick off here in December 22nd. We're going to get back to it. So we're going to see if LeBron can make another run at another title, get him another ring.
I don't know who could beat him.
It looks like it. We got to start with our favorites. It's going to be the LA Lakers coming in at plus 280. So, of course, everybody's going to load up on LeBron's chances of repeating. Anthony Davis seems to just be getting better. At a close second, we got the Brooklyn Nets coming in at plus 650. The Milwaukee Bucks are getting plus 700. See the Denver Nuggets make another run at plus 18. Boston and Miami are both going to be getting plus 2,000, which means you'll be getting 20 to 1 on your bets if you can get Boston or Miami to win the championship. And the
that's a long shot.
Yeah, it's possible. It's worth 20 to 1. And the Clippers are going to be getting 650. We'll see if Kawhi Leonard can get it done. Seems like a pretty dysfunctional group over there. You know, one of the big prop bets is will we get to see Michael Jordan and Lamar Ball go heads up, play one-on-one? You know, we're seeing a lot of these washed-up athletes and these entertainers competing against each other. I guess that's entertaining to us because we're paying a lot of money to do it.
I don't want to see it.
You don't want to see that?
No, I wouldn't see it.
Two old guys beating around on each other?
No, I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it for free.
Yeah. Pay-per-view, $160 to $100 for it.
No way. Get out of here.
Speaking of old guys beating up on each other, did you get to see that Tyson fight?
I saw a little of it. Might get hurt tonight.
Are
you really afraid in the back of your head that something could happen?
What do you think
that
about
put
that?
you in peril?
10, 15 years.
I didn't fight in 20 years. He only stopped fighting for 3
At
years.
least his money's supposed to be going towards a terrible cause. Either
that's typical.
It was entertaining.
For some people. I didn't take the time to watch it. I figured I'd get the highlights and that'd be more than enough.
Nobody thinks that the
I didn't
giant
watch
is
it,
going
but
to fall.
some people
I haven't did this in 15, 16 years. I'm not a giant. I'm a beginner.
Fortunately for me, there was no highlights. We saw Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Mike Tyson hasn't fought in 16 years. Roy Jones has only been retired for 3. So he's fresh into retirement. And it was what you'd expect. It was a pretty disgusting display. Apparently, Mike Tyson has now been signed up to fight Holyfield for another rematch.
Oh, no.
Yes. Yes, we're going to see the ear-biting saga continue.
No, don't do it.
Probably make another $100 million off of that.
Don't do it.
Now, what was interesting about this fight was the results of it. We saw Roy Jones, I think, clearly prove to himself that he took his check and he said, this was embarrassing. I'm just going to go home and pretend like this never happened. Mike Tyson, on the other hand, is looking to do more fights. Now, everybody's jumping on this bandwagon now because the man himself, Floyd Money Mayweather, has been signed up for a comic show of a fight. He's going to be competing against multi-millionaire YouTuber Logan Paul.
Who?
Logan Paul. He's a YouTuber. He's made his living since he was a kid.
It was a joke.
But a lot of people don't know who he was. I didn't know who he was when he was fighting, when his brother was fighting Nate Robinson.
I didn't either, but I had to look up who these guys are.
It was sad to see Nate Robinson.
It's a money grab.
Yeah, that's all it is.
It's a money grab.
And they're all old. They done spent all their prime money away, so they realize they're not going to be rich for the rest of their lives.
I don't know why Mayweather would want to fight somebody that's not going to give him
any type of competition.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't anything.
Just for money, man. The ticket's there. YouTube makes money. Mayweather makes money.
What is he gonna do? You know, fight him with one arm behind his back,
Well,
or
both of
on
the
his
Logan
knees,
brothers.
or what? I know they train and
He's
they're
been training.
fighters and all, but this is Floyd Mayweather. He's
best
one of
ever.
the greatest ever.
I assume he's going to be taking it easy on him.
That's what I'm saying. What
But,
are what stipulations, if any, would there be?
Well, we saw in the Mike Tyson fight that they
it's
weren't
a joke.
allowed to hit each other certain ways, and if anybody
No
was
knockouts.
bleeding, and
Right.
you know all this shit. So I would imagine it's going to be some of the similar rules because there's no competition. Even Floyd Mayweather in his 60s.
Right,
He's
no
gonna be
real
beating
winner.
up
I mean,
people.
it's not a credible fight. It's not.
The winners are going to be the Logan and Jake Paul's bank accounts and
That's
Floyd
right.
Mayweather's.
That's
And
right.
that's it. You know,
And the
obviously
people making money off of the fight.
you got to know if Mayweather's involved, then there's money involved.
That's right.
That's what it comes down to.
Guaranteed.
So that was a shock to me to see how far that went in a matter of weeks. Not even a week and a half later, we've already got 3
Days.
more comic fights set up, and it's just amazing what we're doing to resort to
Publicity
entertainment.
stunts.
Anything, because the raw talent, the raw sport's not there anymore. Boxing's been dead. MMA took it over, just based off of entertainment.
And there's people that that are fighters. You have Anthony Joshua, you have Tyson Fury,
Yeah, Tyson
Deontay
Fury.
Wilder.
They were good for a while.
They're trying to bring boxing back. But
They did
with
it.
MMA. It's
It's too fast, man. It's just
there's so much more that goes on with MMA that just
It really-
boxing
it's a lot
died
more marketable.
when Don King left, and
Yeah.
De La Hoya's trying to bring it back with his promotions, and
it'll be there, but it's never gonna really be what it was
no, it'll never go back to the early '90s, '80s
when it was worth something.
before MMA became mainstream.
So with college football wrapping up, we're getting ready for the bowl games. We're going to see how they can manage to screw up this playoffs. I would assume it's going to be the same 4 teams we've been seeing for the last few years. So I bring you here to ask you what do you think we could do to finally come up with a reasonable format for college football?
This season has been a farce. It's a joke because of the COVID-19, the testing. This team has players testing positive this week.
The game scheduling.
It should be all about safety, player safety, coach safety.
Smile, dog, me, I'm thinking bigger. Critics comment on how I'm smoking weed and drinking liquor. Or how I was nominated but not the winner. But you just... Yeah, nigga, I'm up in the air, nigga. And the shit that I got money aware, nigga. No better team, I ain't even the player, nigga. 4 hours on, niggas, they care. Now you getting dark, so you niggas shit ain't even fair, nigga. Blowing hella fake on me, so like a blinker's rolling down my hair. Weed is even dry, brand is over there.
So in what way do you think we could improve the playoff format for college football?
Well, I think with the college football playoffs, this season is just so different. I wouldn't have a playoffs. I would just have bowl games.
How would you award a national champion?
I would go back just to the coaches poll and the AP poll.
Number 1 gets the national champion.
Whoever's number 1 would be crowned national champion. If there's 2, just make it co-national champions and go from there. It just shows that it's all about money.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, that's why they're forcing this out. That's why they're dealing with the COVID sicknesses and dealing with the hassle of rescheduling it. It's just too much money to lose.
That's right. You can't. In my opinion, you can't have a real number one when even the Power 5 conferences, if that's how you want to choose your number one, you can't have a number one when the teams are playing different numbers of games.
Yeah.
You know, a different number of games, it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you have SEC teams playing, 10, 11, 12 games, what have you, and they're adding on 2 more conference games because they're out of conference games. The non-conference either closed their season early or didn't have a season because of COVID-19, and now their counterparts out the Pac-12, they're playing 7-8 games in a conference championship. So it's just so unfair.
But is it ever really fair?
I mean,
in reality, is it not always somebody from the same group of teams in the same schools?
It is, but they're trying to make it as fair as possible.
Well, what it does is it exposes how unfair it really is. We already know that the winner's coming from the SEC or Ohio State, so they have to find a way to match them up. Or Clemson, of course.
Yeah.
Maybe Notre Dame, and I don't think Notre Dame stands a chance against Clemson.
No,
I really like Florida against Bama.
I think the Notre Dame Clemson will be a lot closer than people think. It's not going to be a Clemson blowout. I don't expect. I think Notre Dame will be ready to play.
Notre Dame's going to show up ready to play, and that's for sure. So anyway, you all know that the outcome of the conference championships and all big games is up to the referees. It seems like the games are rigged almost sometimes. But one thing you don't do is treat your referee like this. This is unacceptable behavior, and it's not just an accidental act. It looks like it's almost premeditated.
Don't put your hands on a referee. I mean, other than that, he's almost 60-year-old.
He could have killed this man. He could have seriously hurt him. He could be paralyzed.
Right, a huge young athlete. He wouldn't do that in the street anywhere.
He's actually one of the best players in his high school area.
And that's going to really hurt.
Highly recruited.
It's going to hurt his recruiting.
It could hurt him seriously. But what will hurt him is this assault charge.
Yes.
This assault charge is going to be something he doesn't want to deal with.
I don't think it'll go over well.
And it could definitely impact his way into the NFL. So you want to make your decisions more wisely when you're worth something.
It was an immature act. Heat of the moment, immature.
He might make it to the NFL and he can join the Jets. He can be a part of this fiasco where you have a team that just refuses to win. They're already going to get the number 1 pick, and now they just want to look like.
Yeah, they just.
How do you blow a game like this when you're this bad? It must be easy. So anyway, we're going to wrap up this episode with our current Power 5 teams for the NFL. We're going to get ready for these NFL playoffs. Obviously, the Chiefs have already clinched. The Saints have already clinched. Looks like it's going to be some tough matchups. Saints look like they're probably going to have that number 1 seed with Green Bay having 3 losses already. Chiefs look like they're definitely ready to make a run at the AFC Championship again. So who are you taking for your top 5 NFL teams right now?
I'm going to start. And this is a good team. I think the 3 losses hurt them. I'm going to say the Packers.
Packers at number 5. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
I think they're beatable. The loss against the Bucks hurt bad. They got blown out. They did beat the Saints by 7. That was a good game, though. Saints played them tough.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Packers at 5.
Okay.
4. I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
Pittsburgh.
Lost their first game.
First loss is on the records. Mm-hmm.
But they're a good team to.
A lot of playoff experience there.
Give the Chiefs a run at it here at the AFC.
They got everything you need: coaches, wide receivers, quarterback, experienced quarterback.
If Big Ben can stay healthy, they'll be a contender.
That's right.
The Bills come in at number 3.
The Bills?
The Bills looking great.
You got the Bills in your top 5?
Bills in the top 5.
Okay.
They're
Josh
looking good.
Allen?
Josh Allen,
Mm.
almost 70% completion
He's
percentage.
impressed me this year.
He's doing well.
Helps when you got a Stephon Diggs and
Of course.
improved roster overall.
Yes,
Running game is
yes.
doing great, but the Bills.
The Bills.
Okay.
Number 2, the Saints. The
Saints.
Drew Brees loss does hurt, but Taysom Hill,
stepped in there.
if he can hold on
He
to the ball,
stepped in there.
he can hold on to the ball while he's running.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a running back.
Seems fairly one-dimensional, but obviously they'll have Breeze back for the playoffs.
He's shown up in these games, like Bridgewater did last year.
Saints defense has been exceptional this year. Wide receiver core, Alvin Kamara, putting up good numbers. So I think the Saints have everything it takes except the coach. The coaching factor is having me looking at the Saints going out pretty early in this playoffs.
I love Sean Payton, but he just makes he's making some questionable calls
as usual.
But who's going to dethrone the Chiefs?
Nobody.
I don't see anyone.
Champs are there for a reason. They're
taking down the Chiefs in the playoffs.
They're tough.
They're too strong.
They're too strong. Patrick Mahomes just blessed. He's got all the weapons he needs. Hall of Fame tight end, Hall of Fame wide receiver. These guys aren't even halfway through their career yet, and they're already Hall of Famers. So this offense, if this defense can step up, I think they have enough to get through the AFC, but I don't think the Chiefs have enough to win the Super Bowl. So
who do you have for your top 5?
My top 5s, I'm gonna pop it off 5 with New Orleans. I don't know how Breeze is gonna look.
Yeah.
I don't know how Breeze is gonna look when he gets back. I don't really have much faith in Michael Thomas this year for other reasons. I think that if you could get a good enough offense going, you could shut them down. And like I said, Coach Payton will find a way to lose the game. So Saints are coming in number 5. Number 4 is going to be my surprise pick. I love the Tennessee Titans. I love Derrick Henry's the best running back in the game. Ryan Tannehill's been playing Pro Bowl caliber quarterback position. I think the defense could use some help. They got a nice wide receiver core and a great head coach. Their head coach is looking like he should have been there a long time ago. So anyway, Tennessee's going to be sitting at 4. I think if they can make it out of the AFC, they have a chance to win it all. I think they have all the weapons that they need right now, but we'll see. Number 3 is going to go to the Seattle Seahawks. You can't bet against Russell Wilson.
Wow.
Their defense is terrible.
Yeah.
The defense is terrible, but I think that DK Metcalf is the prodigy that I thought he was, and I think that they have what it takes to get it done if they can get past Green Bay. Number 2 is a surprise to everybody. I'm going to go ahead and put Kansas City at number 2 because their defense has also shown signs of weakness. I doubt that this same roster will be healthy all the way through the playoffs. Although they have advantages at every position, I'm going to go with Green Bay Packers at number 1. Aaron Rodgers is a man on a mission. He's possessed. He's insulted that they're going to go draft a quarterback and waste a pick when they could have got more weapons for him or more protection. And I think that him and his coach have a good chemistry. They understand that Aaron Rodgers is the coach, and that's why Green Bay is going to slide into the playoffs, go on a run, beat the Saints, and make it to the Super Bowl where they will upset Kansas City.
An upset for the Chiefs. Oh,
they will.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't see it.
That's what's going to happen.
I like the top 5.
All right. Thank you all for tuning in today. Make sure you check out our sponsors at teamspadespoker.com. Thank you, Zig, for stopping by, giving us your expert analyst abilities. So, everybody be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and we will be in touch next week when we get ready for the playoffs to start. That's it.